Hey, my people, my good people. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Matisse, and I'm your lifestylist. And I've had a few questions, actually, several questions about insulin resistance. Now, so we're going live. This is my first time going live. So if you have any comments, I'm new at this, so I'll see if I can't address them as they come up. I'm just so happy for you guys to be here with me, and hopefully it can enrich your life. Now, I recently found out that I'm not a doctor. Much to my surprise. I have a very smart 16-year-old, and my older daughter wasn't feeling well. So I was rushing home to see, how I could treat her. And the youngest daughter called and said, "Oh, she's okay. You don't need to come home." So I still come home because, of course, mommy knows best. And so I had already told her to like to take an Alka-Seltzer, because that's the panacea for everything. So I get to the house, and the older daughter is feeling much better. And I said, "Well, I'm just, I was so nervous, and I ran home to check on you to make sure you're all right." And the youngest daughter said, "I told you you didn't need to come home." And I said to her, "You are not a doctor." And she said to me, "You ain't either." Oh my God. I was devastated. I'm not a doctor. Could you believe? She the first person to have the nerve. And if she wasn't right, I would have grounded her. But I'm not a doctor. So remember, I am not a doctor. I do believe in taking your health into your own hands. And although you may not have gone to medical school, I do believe that you know as much or more about your body than a doctor does. Unless that doctor is a family member, or someone who's been right there with you in every single step of your health, their knowledge about your health is going to be commiserate, but it's not going to be the ultimate, because you know how you feel. And that's the whole part of we've been talking about journey and destiny and all that. Well, one of the great things about destiny is to know yourself. And knowing yourself physically is just as important as knowing yourself emotionally and mentally. So I'm putting the disclaimer out there now. I'm not a doctor, but since I did get some question about insulin resistance and the keto diet, we're just gonna delve into that. So insulin resistance is an impaired response to the body's reaction to glucose, which is sugar. So instead of when you're insulin resistant, that means your cells are resisting you absorbing the insulin, and instead it's putting in your bloodstream, which makes your sugar high or your glucose levels elevated. That doesn't mean you're diabetic. That don't mean you're pre-diabetic. Now, on a personal note, I have gone to the doctor fervently I'm 43 for, all those years. And I've never ever had, glucose over 98. One time I went to the doctor and it was like 5.6, which is borderline pre-diabetic. I'm like, she was like, "What we gonna do about your pre-diabetes?" "What you mean what we gonna do about pre-diabetes? Honey, my blood sugar is 98 every time I come." But that don't have nothing to do with your A1C level. And that's what was elevated. So at that juncture, she prescribed me metformin and, said, there's some lifestyle changes you can make. You can exercise, you can, blah, blah, blah. So I'm devastated. I'm like, I ain't finna be diabetic. That's what I'm not fixing to be. And so, of course, that journey of learning, like my sister-in-law said on the Sister Sip and Say the other day, I'm just trying to learn. So I love my doctor, and I trust what they say, but there's nothing wrong with getting a clear understanding and getting your own understanding. And that's by the Bible. Above all things, get thyself an understanding. That might be a Medea variation of it, but that's all right. I'm just telling you, it's important for you to get a clear understanding of what the doctor is telling you and how it affects you and how it could affect you differently than the status quo. So anyway, in that process, I did discover keto. I went back 3 months later because they check your A1C every 3 months, and my A1C was normal. And these are the things that I did, not as your doctor, but as Matisse, to help lower my A1C. Okay. So what I did first of all is I started walking. You know, walking raises your endorphins. It puts your mood in a different place. It helps the muscle of the heart to get better unless you have some extenuating health circumstances. There's nothing better that you can do for yourself than walk. And most people can walk, even if it doesn't matter. I don't care how moderate or how fast you go, or like walk in a pool if you having joint pain, whatever. So that's the first thing I started doing. I started to walk. So I started to look. I did take the metformin temporarily. Um, and I'm a big proponent of metformin. It's been around for 50, 60 years. And it does, decrease it does decrease elevated glucose level and help people get that under control, help them have weight loss, and so many other things that it benefits, but there are studies that with long-term use, it can affect your kidneys and maybe other organs. Plus, you're going to get diarrhea. I mean, I don't care. That's why they want you to start off piece by piece by piece. Other issues, sometimes how you see those commercials on TV, and it's like, if you have an ingrown toenail, well, take, ABC product. But remember, you could get cancer, you could lose your toe, you could all your hair gonna fall out, your teeth gonna turn yellow. I mean, sometimes the benefit does not outweigh all the consequences of the medicine. And I believe that first the natural, then the spiritual, then the medical. This is me. Now, I'm not saying you subscribe to this. I'm saying what I do. So I'm always looking for some type of natural thing to circumvent having to take the medicine. But I will take the medicine if I have to. So that's when I discovered the keto diet. Now, the keto diet, and people, and there are pros and cons to the keto diet. In everything that you do, there should be moderation. Okay. I feel like that. Okay, let me just tell you what the keto diet is. The keto diet is where you are going to eat mostly fats, then, a moderate level of protein, and few carbs. And since most carbs are complex carbs, meaning that you get it in a box, you get bread, pasta, crackers, chips, you're reducing those things or eliminating them altogether. I mean, I don't see how that could hurt you, but this is just me. I'm not a doctor. So I was like, now that sounds okay. Now, of course, giving up rice, because I couldn't have my gumbo with my rice, and giving up bread was so difficult. But the rewards were better than what I had to give up. And then after a while, you don't even miss it. Who would have thought you go from Dr. Pepper to drinking Perrier? I mean, but you can do it if you put your mind to it, if you want to feel better. So by taking away those complex carbohydrates, first of all, you're getting rid of most gluten that way. Well, gluten is such an allergen for people, and especially people of color who, like, stomach problems are one of the most. Milk and gluten. I don't be talking about milk because I don't want them to come after me like they did Oprah. The beef people came after Oprah. But all I'm saying is that if it's an allergen to you, then you need to eliminate it, which gluten mainly is an allergen. So once you take away those complex carbohydrates like crackers, bread, pasta, I'm repeating it so you can take notes, those things out of your diet, then you are eliminating 50% of all the things that are going to make your body allergic and not be able to respond to the insulin, hormone. Okay. So also you're going to read. So basically with keto, you're going to add in good fats and take away bad carbs. I mean, you live off the fat of the land. That's Bible. I mean, we talking about natural stuff. back in the Neolithic times, people didn't turn grain into bread. So if it's not an original component of what you do in your body, how can it hurt you? Now there are some things within the keto diet that can prevent you from being successful and make you sick, and we're going to go over those in just a second. But for right now, we're talking about how the keto diet works. So we are reducing right now. We're going to reduce all of your sugar or get rid of it. So no sugar, no honey, no maple syrup. And I know I'm calling it in the nose, but I'm just being real. So, but I'm going to tell you what we can add into it because most things we're not eating. Okay, so we're going to get rid of white potatoes. They turn into sugar. We're going to try to avoid corn and sweet peas too. They kind of, but I'm not real strict on it. But try to eliminate anything that's light, white or light, except for cauliflower, which is a lifesaver. And then we're going to add in to our diet fat. Fat is what all the farmers that worked all day started their day off with. Bacon and eggs before they went out into the fields and worked all day. Of course, we're going to try to find the healthiest form of fats. So, while we're amping up our protein and we're amping up our green vegetables, we're going to get to that too. We're also amping up good fats. So we can add fat into our diet, like cook with avocado oil, high in fat, coconut oil, ghee, Ghee. Add heavy cream to your coffee, no sugar. Add butter to your coffee, no sugar. And really, it does help satiate you, make you feel full, curb your appetite for later, and then satisfy the requirement that you need on keto. So, like you're wanting 70, I don't really even know the ratios. I think it's like 70% fat, some rest protein, and then vegetables. But on your vegetables, so the protein, we want to try to keep it clean. I'm a component of as clean as you can get it. Sometimes we can't get it that clean. And when I say clean, I mean non-GMO, no antibiotics, and organic if you can afford it. You can go to places like Aldi's and Trader Joe's, who are less expensive than maybe Whole Foods, but Whole Foods is way more affordable too, especially if you have an Amazon Prime account, you can use that discount. Also, Sprouts. A lot of times at Sprouts, I only shop the little green tag. So that means that you got your regular organic stuff over there. And then when people can't afford it, you just wait a couple of days. Now it's like day old bread, but y'all don't know nothing about that. Anyway, when that sticker of $3 off, $5 off, $1 off, I stock up on those meats. They're organic, they're leaner, cleaner meats. So we're gonna eat good, clean, lean meats if we can, if you can. We're gonna add good fats into our good fats, nut butters. Like I said, the oils that you're going to use, stay away from corn oil and vegetable oil. That's nothing but canola oil. We're going to try to stick with like coconut oil, almond oil, avocado oils, things like that, and add them in however you want to in your salad dressing, whatever. And then the good meats, and then your vegetables. Now, this is kind of where people get into trouble as far as with not feeling well on the keto diet. When you are choosing what vegetables to use on the keto diet, then you're going to want to make sure that they are green leafy vegetables for the most part. Well, any green vegetable for the most part. Broccoli, spinach, asparagus, cabbage, greens, green. You can fix it any kind of way. We're talking about things that are flavorful. And if you look at my TikTok channel, you can see some of my keto meals that you can't tell that it's not keto. I make keto mashed potatoes out of cauliflower, and you really almost can't tell the difference. So I tested on my family. I made a beef stew. And I was like, how y'all like it? They looking at me like, what's wrong with it? And I'm like, go ahead and try it. Enjoy it. And they were like, this is good. This is good. What, you taste anything different? No. What I'm supposed to taste? What's wrong? Tomatoes are too big? No. Oh, you got a different kind of meat? No. I use turnips instead of potatoes. So you can just play with it. And of course, this is like a heavy subject, so we're not going to go far into it, well, any further than we've already gone. But that was one of the ways. So keto and exercise is how I was able to reduce my A1C, where I was back into a normal range when I went back to the doctor. And then all at the same time, losing. I think I lost like within that 3 months, I think I lost like 18 pounds. So, and I wasn't really just focus. I don't, I'm not counting macros like some of the gurus do. I just eliminate the things that I know we weren't supposed to have in the beginning anyway. Now, how that all affects insulin resistance? Well, if you ain't taking in the sugar, then your body doesn't have to work to try to, metabolize the sugar, and you're giving your body a chance to repair itself because you're not taking in all these allergens. So your body's starting to heal itself. Things like bone broth. It's going to help you with your gut lining, which is going to help heal your body from all the allergens that are in it. So when we talk about insulin resistance, it causes so many different problems. Most PCOS, most women, most girls by the time they're 9, 10, 11, 12 on this current diet have PCOS. Now, you don't know they have PCOS. Well, PCOS is polycystic ovarian syndrome. That's where you have cysts on your ovaries. Well, you don't know they have cysts on their ovaries yet because they haven't started their menstruation and they're not sexually active. So you don't know. Now, by the time they get into the age where they're sexually active, or they are menstruating, a lot of times they're on birth control. Well, when you take birth control, it reduces the cysts. Okay, so now you reduce the cysts, but then by the time that they, get out of college or whatever, and they're getting ready to get married, now they're infertile. Well, the reason why they're infertile is because they got cysts on your ovaries, because they're insulin resistant. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like this big ball effect. So that's very important for, you to consult your physician. And then, if you have a homeopathic provider that you can talk to, if not, just ask your doctor, what kind of integrative ways can you, have a healthy lifestyle. And if you have to take medicine, that's fine, to get your endocrine system in line where you're not insulin resistant, because it's going to help you. It's going to help mental fog. It's going to help all kind of stuff. And if you have PCOS or if you're insulin resistant, I don't care what you do, you're not going to lose weight. And you're not going to lose weight if you have cysts on your ovaries or if you're insulin resistant. They go hand in hand. So until we can attack that part of it, then you're not going to be able to lose weight. I don't care how much you put your mind to it, how many outfits you buy. I don't care how many, 9 weeks, 2 days. And I gained 3 pounds. I'm just telling you for a fact. So we have to make sure that we are, doing the right things, not just doing something, starting off with something. I believe in you begin from the beginning and you start off with, whatever you can start off with. But if you get the right combination, then that's how you can experience the success. And, so anyway, that's that part. So we talked about insulin resistance. We talked about why I thought the keto was well. Okay, let me just say this real quick. The reason why you have to be careful on keto, you have to make sure that you're getting enough salt. Even if you have high blood pressure, you just consult your physician about it. But if you do deplete yourself of salts, which can make you tired and dehydrated. And your blood pressure is probably going to come down anyway because of all the different changes that you're making. Did you want to consult your physician about that? You want to make sure that you're staying well hydrated. Alkaline water is good. Me and my coworkers been doing that for a while. Just making sure that you're hydrated, and make sure that you're eating enough vegetables. If you do those things, you won't experience a lot of the, kind of ickiness that you can feel on keto in the beginning, and your energy will just ramp up. Plus, it'll help keep your bowels and your digestive system on track while you're doing it. There's so much more to this subject. I mean, I could do this all day, every day for hours. And of course, like I said, since I'm not a doctor, I'm not going to go into the technical stuff of it that I might know, but I can't relate to you because I'm not a doctor. They've told me I'm not a doctor. Anyway, I just hope that this helps give you hope and courage to seek professional help. Because once you've gotten your physical self together, then I know that there are some cosmetic things that happen with, insulin resistance and PCOS. And I can address those too, how I was able to eliminate some of the discoloration and some of the facial hair issues, without scarring, and that can help you with your self-esteem and, all that great stuff. So if you want more on this subject, let's drill down on each specific thing. Just let me know. Hopefully this will give you just a compass, a barometer of where you want to go. Dr. Axe has some great AXE, Dr. AXE. His channel is really great on insulin resistance and healing PCOS and healing diabetes. It's a really good channel. So maybe you can look him up too to give you more information. But take control of your health. It's your health. Doesn't belong to anybody else. Take control of it. Go take the doctor's advice. Don't be a fool. Listen to wise counsel, but also find out what is true for you, for yourself. And if you have a good doctor, then talk to them about it, because they'll guide you somewhat in the right direction most of the time. And if they ain't, then you find you another doctor. It's your health. You take control of it. And I love you guys. This is like one of my passions, to see people feel better. So remember berberine, look up berberine, is like the natural metformin. Consult your physician about it. Actually, it was a medical physician that taught me about berberine after I had COVID, to help me get my body back in order. And I can tell you that it does make a difference. So if you don't want to take metformin, or or get on birth control pills for your PCOS, berberine could be another option for you. Consult your physician on it. And live well, be happy, take control of your health. And I love you guys.